Folks, welcome back. Lone Gold Miner here. I've been hitting it here, been hitting it there. Haven't found any gold, but I have found a lot of work. So anyhow, I decided to come back to Nugget Gully. And last thing that was decent that I found was that gold ring. But I don't know. Today, I'm just going to continue on with this project at Nugget Gully. We're going to move forward that way. There's that big rock under there. I haven't determined if that's part of the bedrock, but my goal here today is to perhaps push in this direction and then upward that way. Anyhow, I'm going to knock off a bunch of stuff right here, drop it down on the floor, and start detecting with the little Sadie coil. That's all we can do. All right, see you on the first target, folks. Take care. All right, so I knocked a bunch of material down, and we're going to scan it now. Okay, got a target. Let me dig that up and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I got it out of there. Okay, sounds better. Let me get down there. Okay, we got it in the scoop. All right, flat piece of metal, folks. All right, let's move on. All right, knocked off some more, and I have a target. Almost seems like I got two. Let's check it out. All right, I got it in the scoop here. It's a screamer. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? It's out. Jeez. Oh. Well, shucks golly gee. There it is. Garbage. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's garbage though. All right, let's continue. Let me see if I have another target here. Oh, that was it. For now. All right, let's move forward. Okay, I got a little target right here. You know, I'm not asking for much. I'm asking just for one. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, it's still there. All right, I'll bring you right back. All right, got it. Got something. Don't know what it is yet. Sometimes I find the back of the Sadie coil the most sensitive. You know, if you're trying to... Nothing there. Oh, darn, I think I see it. I see it in my hand right here. It's just a piece of steel. All right. There it is. See how sensitive the Sadie coil is, by the way? I mean, look at this. Tiny piece. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right, nothing at that time. Let's get back to taking the pick. And it's the repeat. It's the same old thing. Got a couple rocks down there, boulders down below. And we're going to try to pop those out today if we can. This one's a large sucker here. I don't know if we'll see. I just got to keep tearing it into this side right here. And nothing yet, folks. All right, let's continue. Okay, by taking that one out, I'm exposing this one right here more. You just got to work your way around. You know, one or two of these little boulder rocks above it could loosen, you know, another bigger rock. So you just got to wedge it and pull it out and kind of, you know, keep moving the stuff out. You know, as I'm pulling these rocks out, I'm kind of remembering the days of dredging, you know, when you're down underwater and you're using one hand and feeding the dredge with gravels, and you're tossing the boulders off to the side. Just a week ago, I don't know if any of you read the paper up in Stanislaus County, California, 4 or 5 dredgers were cited for illegal dredging. I didn't read the article. I was just kind of, you know, but that title caught my eye. So, you know, moratorium, guys are going out there dredging. And I think it was on BLM land, but they got caught. So be careful, guys. I think with the price of gold at almost 4,000 an ounce, it's going to encourage more of this type of activity. Unfortunately, you know, every year that goes by, you know, good people are made into criminals by legislature passing laws that are taking away our little freedoms that we have. But anyhow, those guys got busted and probably their dredges got confiscated by the authorities, by Fish and Game Wildlife. But again, that's California. I don't know how it is in other states. But it was Schwarzenegger who did that. So anyway, the little compromises these politicians make over the peasants. Sorry, I don't mean to get into politics, but it's a little frustrating. I'm sure you all follow. Okay, we're back, and we have the tiniest... It's like a flea target. So let's see what that is. Something there. I found it. It was this hot rock right here. There's really no strong side. Look at that. Totally. Lots of iron in there. Okay. I will take a closer look at this piece here. It's interesting how this piece, okay, nope, that's not, it's not doing much, but this little piece is, so I'll keep that. You never know, maybe there's some gold in it. Who knows? Goes in a pocket. All right, let's continue, folks. All right, we got a target. I lost count. I think this is like the 5th or 6th. Let's take a look, see what that is, folks. I'm gonna ground balance it. Sounds like a legit target. All right, let's keep digging. All right, still there. I don't know, folks. This is something weird here. I'm ground balancing it. Nothing over here. All right, let me keep digging. I think I got it, folks. Seems like it's back here. Oh, in the back of the scoop. Oh, we'll see. Not sure what this is yet. Let me see. Metal. Piece of iron, folks. At least we're getting some trash now. You know, we're getting some heavies. All right, well, let's continue. So I watched this documentary or interview on YouTube about this Australian gold miner who's been mining all his life since he was 13, 14 with his father. I believe it was 30 kilometers from Melbourne, and I believe it was Smith's Gulch. And just an excellent interview. I'd recommend any gold miner to watch it, just about anybody. And totally motivating, you know. I thought I worked hard, but when he describes the amount of yardage that he moved with a short-handled shovel in his life, it puts me to shame. But anyhow, yeah, I'll find out the name of the documentary, the man's name. I don't know if it's, I forgot. I think the last name is Stone. I could be wrong, but I'll verify that and post it on my channel. I think you're going to enjoy it. It was a joy. You know, he's such a good storyteller too. And then when his father passed on, his uncle and him worked it until he passed on. And then he tells the story and how he took on a partner. But anyway, it was he worked on that mine on his own. But anyway, I'll write it down there or post it, and hope you guys enjoy it. Anyhow, I'm trying to get these puppies out, and all I'm doing is just collecting material here, spreading it and detecting it. And yeah, anyway, that was my thought. Let's continue. Now I remember him saying a few things like when his father and his uncle were mining, they did it out of necessity. It was back in the 40s, 30s. And just to make ends meet, they'd go out there mining. But as far as when he took it over, he just thoroughly enjoyed it. He enjoyed being his own boss. And that was the difference between him and his father and his uncle. They didn't talk much about it. They just did the job, took the gold out and sold it and paid their bills and whatnot. But when it came to him, he says he knew when he started mining that this was his thing. And anyway, I'm not going to tell you anymore, but I just wanted to mention it. And then it makes me think, is history going to repeat itself? And at 4,000 an ounce, US dollars, and if we get into the stagflation economy, because it cycles, you know, history cycles, things repeat itself, just different, but very similar, or we're going to have to do that again. Anyway, just a thought. I got this puppy out. Anyway, I got a nice little pile there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to keep it clean. So we're going to get our metal detector on, and we're going to go scan it. Anyhow, folks, I'm still working here. Haven't gone anywhere. Just wanted to show you how close we are to the that test hole over there that I dug. And this is where we're, you know, at this point, dug all that all the way down where you see the end where it drops. And I don't know, I haven't had much luck actually between the detector there, let's say about 10, 20 feet. Haven't had any luck. I found one tiny little piece with the rock on it. I mean, small. Nothing here, but here's the stickler. Right there and right there, I found two nice lunkers many years ago. And so you know how I always say, what breeds motivation is success. And I found gold throughout this gully. And so I decided, start at the end, right? What better place? Start at the end and work your way all the way up. And of course, my largest piece was a 7-grammer over there, 7.2 grams. It was down 7 inches in bedrock through a hairline crack. And then I picked up little bits here and there, right? And got to the point where the wheelbarrow is, picked up maybe 3-4 pieces there, and it ended. Picked up one piece right there, ended. Nothing, 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 nothing. Between that hole and between here, it's about 12 feet, I found 2 good sized nuggets. And so, yeah, success breeds motivation. There you see my motivation here, okay? But, you know, gold's where you find it. So this is a good example, man. You could put a lot of effort and find very little gold. But I'm standing on stacks of rock right here that I dumped. Regardless, we're going to continue. That rock down there is part of the bedrock. I can't pull that out. Of course, I'm going to have to dig all this stuff out between here. And I'm going to go a little wider over here and see what we get. But, you know, you never can give up. And that's where the tailing piles start. From the top of the gully, it ends right here, right where that tree is. Over here, they didn't really throw a lot of tailings for some reason. Now, could they have set up their long toms up top and worked the gully right up from the oak tree up and tossed the heavies, the rocks and the cobbles to that side? And then this was like the runoff at the end of the long tom. And those 2 pieces that I found years ago, did it fall out of the long tom? You know, by accident, they missed it. So I don't know. We're going to continue, but see, that's the whole thing. Just don't know. You got to keep digging, and the gold's there. You just got to put the coil underneath the nugget. All right, be right with you, folks. Let's get back down there and get to work. All right. I find that the easiest way to go easy on the lower back is to just get on your knees here and then just pick at the wall here. I could feel we're near gold. I don't know. I could just feel it. Look at these rocks here. I pulled that one out over there. Got another one here. Got one here, one there, one there. Totally wedged in here tight. I don't know. I have a feeling once I expose another 6-7 feet and go down between these, I'm going to find some gold. All right. Let's get going. So in order for me to pull this one out here, I have to pull these out right here above it and then aside to loosen this out, and then work my way from the bottom up top, removing those. So we'll get there today. That's my goal today, get these boulders out of here. All right. Well, no gold yet, folks. Sorry about that, but I'm trying. There's some boulders in there. I'm still working on that, and I've been spreading out the dirt here. And I am thinking this is going to move. I don't think that's part of bedrock. Maybe at one time, but it's just they're all wedged in here together. That's why I'm a little bit hopeful. But I think I have a target around here somewhere. This is detecting for gold. Thought I heard it some. Oh. That sounds like a target. All right, let me get down there. Anyway, I don't see it. All right, still there. Wow, that took me a while to find. Well, we finally got it. Whatever it is, let's find out. Oh, it's a head of a nail. It's the top part. Yep, it's not gold. Man, that was a tough one to find. All right, we move on. Well, I won't stop till I dig another foot. So we're going to continue. And one more foot, then we'll stop for today. Nothing. Nada. All right, but it's there. It's there. All right, so let's continue. All right, folks, we're going to call it a day. We made some progress. I went forward probably another 2 feet. Those rocks are just too big for me right now to pull out, but the next visit here, Nugget Gully, we're going to pull those out, and we're going to connect eventually that 10-foot, that hole above us up ahead with this hole, and we're going to pull all these rocks out, and we'll see if the rains come, and if I get too much water in here, I won't be working Nugget Gully. I'll be up on Leaf Gold mine, working that for a while, see if we can get some specimens up there, and then we're going to continue working other areas, perhaps the ditch and a few others. Anyhow, my goal this season, just to get that hole connected, get to that oak tree. That was my goal from the beginning, a few months back. And anyhow, we're almost near. Thanks for hanging out. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out with me, and leave a comment, subscribe if you'd like, and hit like. And thanks for your support, folks. And let's meet up on the next hunt. Take care.